Hey, time to execute a bad idea. You know, sometimes I have good ideas, like taking the jet ski out on the river and having a bonfire on an iceberg. That execution, great. This time, I'm gonna take the airboat out on a frozen lake. And I say it's a bad idea because this hull has just seen better days. There's a few small repairs that have been done where when I last had it out, yeah, I saw water kind of coming up through, and actually, well, now we got a layer of ice down in the bottom, so that's adding some extra structure. But more importantly, these stringers, when I drilled the holes in for this cage, they were just soft and gooey in there. Not much wood left. Luckily, the ice is 6 inches thick, so let's get it down there. Let's drop battery in first, though, and see if it'll fire up. It's been a while. This Optima Blue Top should have some good juice left in it. Actually, I got snow in the intake. Nope. And this carb doesn't have a choke on it, so I'm gonna just stuff that in. That'll be all right. Fuel pump's going. Oh, I can't see our gauges. Darn. Oh, throttle cable's locked up too, huh? And down in the ice. Go. Come on, baby. Sometimes the float sticks on this, so the tap, we have to pull the airbox off. Oh, look at that. Had a squirrel kicking around. That wasn't there before. That one went right in the fan. I'll crack that later and eat it. Thanks for the food, buddy. I got some old fuel on this too. There it is. It, old CaddySwampAss is warmed up and ready to stretch his legs. Hers. See how this acorn is inside. Man, that thing's tough. I don't know, it might be frozen. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that thing is. We'll go back to that later. All right, we have made it. And if you know where this lake is, don't comment the location down below, because you're actually not allowed to have motorboats here. But I figure it's frozen, we're not actually in the lake, so it should be all right, right? Would have went out on the river, but it's way too jagged and crazy. Now, there were some ice fishermen out here earlier, and it looks like they have cleared the area, so that's great, because I didn't want to disturb all the fish. And I checked the ice thickness, about 6 inches. A little rough, too, out there. What do you think?
A lot of people down there on the other side. I don't know if you saw that, but...
Well, for good luck, I guess we'll put the plugs in. Not that if we need them, that's going to be a problem.
Yeah, well,
yeah. Everybody's forgot to put these in once or twice in their life, I'm sure. Now, this boat's heavy and sluggish, so I don't know how well it's going to move around on this, but if not, we'll push it in. We'll get it out on the ice one way or another. I'm going to tie it on your ball. You care? Because everybody will say, yeah, Cap, talk to somebody. Why the ball? We'll give it the old bowline. It's a great knot to know. You tie a little bite or loop or whatever, go around, come back through the rabbit hole, and then back around, and you could tug a boat. I always say you could tug a boat with that knot, and it'll still come right out. All right, let's see what it does.
That's taut right there.
That is taut, and we're unhooked. Oh, yeah, we might need to get a ratchet strap, but go ahead and see what it does. All right, hold on. I'm gonna have to get something stronger. Hold on. That dock line was stretching way too much. I guess we'll throw the old tow hook on. It might rip that cleat off the back, honestly. This thing's pretty stuck on. It might be frozen. That might be what's going on here. I feel like it's gonna rip the transom off. All right. Yeah, get a little bit more. All right, hey, you're one legging it. We should have just went and tied it to a tree, huh?
That's taut.
All right, I don't. It budged. There it goes. Yep. All right, keep her going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. so watch out. Just in case. Don't have brakes. Right onto the roughest part of the ice. Woo! Yeah, buddy. Oh man, this is so fast on the ice. Woo! It has so much more power on the ice. It's unbelievable. Here's where these guys were fishing. So I know we're 6 inches right there. Not sure on the edges. Let's see how this thing turns. Oh yeah, just minty, baby. This is great. There's a shopping cart out there. Let's go clean that up. Really putting the old CaddySwampAss to the test. The Walmart shopping cart, we'll go return that. Oh, darn kids. Yes! Good deed for the deck. I guess this pod can stay out there, but yeah. Bring that back to Walmart later. Alright, the sunset cruise. Take it easy on this part. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we gotta find that bigger lake. The boat survived. Call that a successful day. Go find some smoother ice for next time and do an inspection of this hull. I think that's in line. Now for the fun part, getting this back on. I was thinking about just going to get the roll back, winch it up, but I think we'll try hand winching it first. We're gonna cut this off since this one broke and this wood was pretty shot anyway. That way it kind of goes on even. Alright, now I'll just bend down, right?
Perfect.
Perfect! I think it was the carpet holding this one on anyway.
Yeah. You come in. Alright, right there.
Because it's going to want to kick them out, so maybe bring them even like, maybe tilt it in a little bit. Yeah, it should be good. There it goes.
Towards the boat.
I'm so worn out.
I'll take over. You're about to go. Actually use these pieces to like lever it up.
Oh yeah. Time for electric winch upgrade.
Yeah, there we go.
Wow. Oh, I'm getting loose here.
This one's about to pop out too. That's all we got, I think.
That's straight enough. That's perfect. Well, not perfect, but pretty good. Most importantly, don't forget to remove your plugs.
Yeah.
It'll rain and your boat will be full of water. You ever see cart narcs on YouTube?
I have. It's so dumb.
That is hilarious, though. I love it. People get so mad.
It's like touching their car and putting weird stuff in their car. And like, I've seen the videos people are putting guns on and shit.
Oh, yeah. I wonder if some of that stuff's staged, too.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not like a junky boat. The best.
There we go.
Now we're 5 days later, and I wanted to get this back out to do a speed run. I found a bigger lake here. I can get going nice and fast and put the GPS on, but now we've had a bunch of days in the 50s, so the ice is a lot thinner, and as you can see, it's water over there. I wanted to show you guys some of the damage that occurred. I mean, we already had a chipped up transom back here, but it actually, you know, minus all these scratches, it held up all right. And that was already like that, so it's really, yeah, it needs the plastic, but I think this hull can take another run. Let's go run down to the ice here and see. Now, the other issue right now for this is, like, there's no snow in the parking lot, so how are we gonna get it off onto the ice? I'm thinking, like, pull against a tree and then back down. I mean, this is nice too with no snow because we can get the truck down here safely, but oh, look at that. See, so the water levels probably dropped a little bit too. I think this is fine. We're gonna call this good, and it'll be sweet because you can get out on the water. This is kind of bumpy too, though. Meant to get out here sooner, but it's been so windy every single day. And I don't know if you've ever been on an airboat when it's windy, but it kind of blows you all over the place. You don't have a lot of control. So we got some daylight. Let's do this.
What do you plan on doing? Just you gonna drive forward and just pull it off?
We got Jake over here. Get this thing off. So I'm gonna pull forward and just let me know when it gets to, like, kind of the teeter-totter point.
Sliding, sliding, sliding. All right, starting to teeter. Keep coming, keep coming. All right.
I got her at the teeter, and then I'll throw the winch on it.
Keep coming, you're almost at the ice. Keep coming.
Go all the way on.
Okay. Touching the ice. You're on the ice.
Look at that. Plenty strong.
She's holding. Oh yeah, it's going little by little. There you go, yep. Yep. Good.
And we're gonna go for a little shakedown run, see how this ice feels. Pretty dicey feeling. Oh, it's so rough. It's just so rough out here. All right, so we hit 32 there, and it felt really scary with how bumpy this ice is, but it definitely had a lot more in it. That's the max speed on the water, 32, 34. I think it's the highest I ever saw was 34. All right, we got our passenger off now, so I can do a speed run and a water run because I didn't want to sink this thing with him on there. Nothing. You just gotta keep the speed going. I also don't know how shallow it is here, but shut this thing off and glide to your location. I had GPS going. How fast do you think that was?
I would say maybe 30, 35.
50. 50 GPS.
Holy
Yeah, it felt really dicey. We hit 32 before when it was shaky.
Oh my God.
Dude, 50 was wild.
That's insane.
All right, we should probably go before somebody calls on us. There's one old farmhouse right here. This guy's probably looking at his window. What the heck is out that? 100% I could do 60, 65. On smooth ice, I would do it.
Yeah.
This is too bumpy.
It's coming. Yep. All right.
Oh, cop's coming for us. All right, get Winston. Yeah. Hey, Autumn. I know you're on that milk kick right now, but you've got to try this delicious food Mom and Dad have been getting me. It's called Sundays. So as many of you know, we've recently welcomed our daughter Autumn into the world. Now, as important as she is to us, we still have one other important little guy in our lives, Gus. Watching the two of them get to know each other has been so heartwarming, and we can already tell they're going to be best friends. That said, we want to make sure Gus is healthy and taken care of for years to come so they can build everlasting memories together. And that's why we feed Gus Sundays for Dogs. It's made entirely of human-grade ingredients, meaning a human could literally eat it. And I have. Sundays is made with 100% meat muscle, organs, and superfoods. Zero synthetics or artificial preservatives. The back of the bag says it all. Shows you a breakdown of what a healthy diet looks like for your dog. If there's ever an option for Gus to choose his food, he goes for Sundays every time. So give your dog a chance to try Sundays and watch them fall in love. You can get 50% off your 2-week trial of Sundays at sundaysfordogs.com/NNKH. Or just use my code NNKH at checkout. And now, let's get back to the video. Well, the airboat was a darn blast. Now stopping over Lorenzo's shop to see the 396 from my Chevelle on the dyno. And he did a video putting this together, so if you want to see what's inside of it, make sure to check his out. I'll drop that down below in the description. Lorenzo's Fast Flow. We'll do a dyno pull on the 396 and see what it's at. We got Downstater ADV with us today, and Lorenzo the man. So you said you were already doing it.
Yeah, I did a pull this morning, and it did good after we changed the manifold. I did a pull with a 1-inch spacer on it, and the torque down low was all screwed up. Like it was up and down and real jaggedy, and then it was fine, and it pulled right to 6,500. So I said, all right, let me try taking the spacer off. So I took the spacer off, and now the torque is real good. It made 434.8 foot-pounds of torque, and 440 horsepower. But then after 5,500,
it was dropping off.
It dropped off, and it's just the intake needs the additional plenum area.
So we still have the single plane on it now.
Right now it's the single plane. So we're gonna we'll make another pull, and then I'll switch it over to a dual plane air gap.
Cool.
I only took it to 6,000 this time, so it didn't drop off as much, but it dropped way off.
Got it, yep.
So, but the torque doesn't look so bad, and then starts dropping off like a rock. But with the dual plane, so there's the 2 crank grinders, and then we've been, the guy from Gleason's been over, actually the son, Gleason's the old man's son, and this is our watch it talk.
Oh,
this is our crankshaft welder, and
is that still toasty? A little bit,
yeah.
Gleason crankshaft journal build-up machine.
Yeah, it says in Latin here, shoot for the stars. In Latin underneath it, it's pretty neat. But
yeah, it's a beautiful machine.
It's a super trick machine, and it uses a high-tech Miller welder.
Yeah, look at that. Wow.
Strokes and all with the crank. When you set the stroke, so the thing totally follows the journal.
Now, do you preheat the crank before putting it on there?
No.
Okay.
You don't have to preheat it. Real big cranks, like big diesel cranks, we get the journal that you're doing up around 200 degrees with a torch. When it welds in these fillets, what happens is it wants to pull the crank into the fillets.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you put it in the crankshaft straightener. You see how bent it is here. You push on the rod pin. You'll push, like, say it's bent 10 thousandths. You'll push it twice that. You'll push it up so the dial indicator reads 20 thousandths, and then you peen the fillets. You'll peen the fillets here and here.
To relax them a little bit.
Yeah, all you do is you give them a couple shots there, and then release the pressure, and then you check it again.
Wow.
And
I wonder if they ever break in that process.
No.
If you go a little too much, snap, you know?
No, really. There's no cracks in the thing.
So is this flux core then with all this?
That's the flux.
Okay.
You don't wear glasses or nothing. This air, when you turn the machine on, this air powers it, shoots the torch forward. Then you aim the flux at it above the torch, and you don't have to wear glasses or anything.
Oh.
You could look right at it, and
Wow.
you just sit there with this hammer, and you peel the flux off.
Oh,
As
they
it's
came
coming
out
around.
really nice, yeah. And now switching over to a little scattered update on the secondary garage workspace. You guys may have seen the first video. Saw a lot of questions about that place. And yes, we are now the proud owners of this little house and garage. Gonna be a long-term fixer-upper project. So just here's some updates of what's going on over there. The number one priority is gonna be blocking these windows in. Got a buddy of mine coming tomorrow, an old neighbor, and he's a mason. That should be no issue, 6 of those. I do wanna thank some of the people that commented on the last video about this toolbox. Had the old masking tape that was just dry and hard as can be. I used a heat gun and heated the masking tape up, pulled it off, and of course it left just the thickest crusty adhesive on there. So mayonnaise was the a popular method that you guys mentioned, and I tell you, it works fabulous. You just rub some mayonnaise on there, leave it for a day. Maybe not have to leave it that long, but I did a day, and then you take a plastic scraper and that stuff comes right off. I actually used a couple different greases to see how they worked, and they worked just as well. Now, if you use like a goof off or Goo Gone, especially with these snap-on boxes, it seems to take the paint off, and you start rubbing it on there and you pull the cloth and you'll see the paint coming off. So mayonnaise, who'd have thought? Works like a charm. I don't know if you guys remember what this looked like, but we are already so darn clean in here. I'm not much for planning, and so I start mashing things together. I'm thinking, all right, this is gonna be the parts wall, everything that's like 18 to 20 inches deep on this side, because that wall between the door right there and here, you got a little bit more space over here. The tools, most of these boxes are 29 inches deep. That desk is 29. We'll keep that all over here. That way we have plenty of room in the center once we get the lift in. For the walls, I started putting stuff up and I'm like, you know what? These walls are kind of dingy, and since I'm blocking the windows in, we should probably just do a paint job. So tomorrow I'm gonna pull all this stuff off the walls. We'll get it out in the center, get it covered, and that's the rough plan. Look at all this nice metal I got. All the sheet that was over there. Everything out organized. Yes, it's all coming together. This air compressor, it's never been drained. Let's see how much water is in it. Well, it's never been drained in my possession. Let's go. Oh, yep. Yeah, I got a few inches of water down there. Okay. I once drained one of these behind my old work, and it had to have been full up to here. I couldn't believe how many gallons came out. You see, I got these nautical themed Schaefer beer signs, red and green. Although a mouse made a nest in each one. So I'll get these cleaned out too. Oh my gosh, look at this. Is he still in there? I don't know. But yeah, get those cleaned out tomorrow and hung up. And I guess that soundtrack in the background is probably not that ideal right now, huh? What did we get? That's all the water we got out, so not too bad. And taking a glance in here, we can see the side wall, just normal surface rust. And I can't get you guys that great of an angle, but I was looking at it with the light and get a little bit better of a look. And then the bottom, just normal rust. So I'll get in there with a magnet, scoop a bunch of that junk out, and that way I can put an auto drain on that won't keep getting clogged up, because that stuff will just continue to clog up the screen. But this tank's in good shape. One of the nice things with the vertical tanks is as they rust out on the bottom, when they finally rust through and give way, usually you're just leaking some water and some air, and that's it. You know, okay, hey, tank's done. The problem with the horizontal ones is when they rust across the entire seam on the bottom, and as that gets weaker across the whole thing, one day they can just give out and split open and blow apart. So I do consider vertical tanks considerably more safe. You can see this one was made by the Buckeye Boiler Company in Dayton, Ohio, 1979. Look at that. So when this garage was put up, he went out and bought himself a brand new top of the line Dayton Speed Air compressor, and working pressure 200 PSI at 450 degrees. You know, clean that all out, put the plug back in, plenty of life, and in the future probably relocate this to the outside of the building in a little compressor house. So I got these guys over here doing the window. You got a pry bar too if you want to hit it with a pry bar. No?
We don't need this shit, right?
Bend it?
No, we don't need this, right?
Yeah, no. There you go. Nice.
That's right.
Man, I'm surprised this wood over all these years never got any rot or nothing.
No, it's very dry.
Yeah. So the attack plan is we're gonna take these little half guys out, and that way it's all full blocks. Should come out great. Nice gaps.
This, you see the way they put this block? It's like going.
Yeah, I see it. You're talking about the lentil
This
here?
one is too, but look
Leaning.
this one. If you put the level, it's like.
Oh
it's
yeah,
not, you can
I
see
see
from
that.
there.
Yep. No, this is
And
looking great.
If we go with this one with that one, and then this is gonna look crooked.
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. I'm not critiquing you. It looks amazing. It looks perfect.
And you can see here that.
Yeah, once I paint it, it's
Yeah, I know
gonna
about it.
blend right in. Yeah. And these guys are wrapping up their second day, 2 full days, and we are completely done. Check it out. No more windows, and I mean, flawless job. Really, just flawless. I know it's like, oh, just put blocks in the wall, right? But no, these guys have been doing this for years, and you can tell when you look at it how nice of a job it is. I'm just finishing up the parging on the outside, but I'm gonna say that matches excellent. That's what Jen was worried about, if it was gonna match. I think I'm gonna paint this whole thing anyway, so you know, lock it in, because worst thing you could do for masonry is not coat it, because then over time water soaks in, and on those nights where it rains all day and then goes into a deep freeze overnight, you get little tiny micro cracks. You might not see them, but then over time it flakes off, or you get spalling and issues like that. Let's see if this oil furnace fires up. I got some heating oil in this tank, and we're gonna start by hooking that up to the fuel inlet hose. Okay, we got flow for power. It's tapped right into the outlet, so we'll just hit that on. Okay, now we do have the trip reset. Oh, it actually was tripped already. Let's take a look inside the burner. Yeah, looks pretty good to me. And flue's all hooked up. And these, I'm not sure, but our signal is coming out on the wall. It runs over to here. And it's actually a 4-wire, and we'll just touch them together until the heater goes on. Right there, okay. Hit it. Oh, there it goes. Fired right up. I don't know if it's still on now. You might have to hit that bleeder valve down here. But no, it sounds like it's running. Let's open the little peeper port. That little one's not going. Okay, we'll open the big guy. Oh yeah. That's running pretty rich. Oh, looks like maybe a bad heat exchanger or something, or oh, we're just dumping fuel. The flue is not connected properly. It's kind of sitting on there. Wow, how'd that happen? It almost looks like they were running it that way for a while. Thought maybe we had cracked heat exchanger, but maybe not. Wow, that got toasty quick. Woo! I never saw a mobile Jet R burner before. This is the Carlin Company, accepted for use, City of New York, Department of Buildings. I guess I'll have to check the jet sizes and such. Oh yeah, this is the wrong transformer. That's why it's just sitting on there. That's okay. Well, no, that's not really okay because it's getting a lot of, it's pushing air out of this gap. That's got to be sealed up. And then you have your intake airflow band adjustment right here. But yeah, that would just be causing, this is on the pressure side, so this gap would be causing it to blow on out. Here is how the chimney looks on the outside. Even though it's single wall, I got, I think, a good enough amount of space, considering this is like 13, 14 feet up by the time the flue gases get up. Good amount of space from the vinyl siding and the roof. This support, pretty stout. It's actually got exhaust clamp from a semi, it looks like. We don't have a screen, which is not a good sign. Let's take a look. Yeah, that looks clear. What? Oh yeah, here we go. Not having a cap, you can see there is a bunch of junk in here. That's part of the reason it was smoking so bad. One way to have a chimney fire, and that is pretty packed in there. Let me get the shop vac. Probably had a lot of birds' nests in there at some point. I took the screws off this cover and pull that off. You see it was last pulled March 12th, 1997. And with that down, we could see the entire heat exchanger. So we pull these plates off to vacuum in there. Oh yeah. That's got to be cleaned out. Way overdue for this heat exchanger to get vacuumed. I mean, it's just packed with soot and ash, and need some new gaskets too. But you know what? I don't have an overabundance of heating oil. However, I do have an overabundance of heating wood. About 5 more of these, and then just basically unlimited wood. So I just picked up this little Vermont Castings model 1920 mini wood stove. This thing is pretty tiny, but I think it'll do a good job in the garage here. I noticed it has no airflow controls on the front, but I guess there's just automatic airflow on this guy, and with some kind of thermostatic spring that doesn't seem to be hooked up right. I guess it goes up in here, and then it opens this little airflow to adjust that. So I'll have to look into how that works, but it's an Aspen 1920. And actually, it says it was manufactured 09-2020. Now, I wouldn't have guessed this was only 4 years old. Now, yes, this galvanized chimney is not rated for wood, but it's good enough to test it. It's nice that it's gone through block. Bet you there's gonna be a nest up in here too. Oh yeah. Yeah, that wouldn't have been good. We got mud daubers too. That was a huge nest. Maybe like a nest every year for several years. That answers why the heater was running so poorly. A combination of a clogged chimney and then also this air leak causing it to just, yeah. Good thing we didn't run it too long. Probably should have checked the chimney first. Well, I used what we had on hand. Got her all hooked up with that swivel. Has the perfect length since I was able to move that. And yeah, just remember, don't use galvanized for a wood stove in an enclosed area because it does put off toxic fumes when that galvanized starts burning off. Just like welding on galvanized, same kind of thing. Don't breathe that stuff in. The old bird's nest makes perfect kindling. It's gonna flare right up. Break that chimney in. See if she drafts. Oh yeah, it's drafting. It's drafting, all right. Right off the rip. Yeah, this has got those afterburner tubes too, whatever they're called. So, pretty decent little stove. Small, but it'll work. You get a real nice burn out of this little stove. Well, this little Vermont Castings was all right, but just not really cutting it. So, welcome to the Gilbralter. Gilbralter? I don't know how you say that. It is a coal stove. There you go. And apparently you can run wood in these too, but check out this beast. And brass doors. And this was a freebie. I'm getting ready to sell it maybe. And I was like, you know, why don't I try it out in here? You can see it doesn't have any of those other extra burner tubes. It's just kind of right out the chimney. It has that one deflector plate. You can slide this open for starting it up, and then down here you got these really cool cast iron grates. And you have to pull out ash pan, but before you pull it out, you just slide this on and boom, boom. Now that's how you know it's a coal stove, but I guess that'll work for wood too. You know, I think it's not as efficient at all. I'm about to fire this up, and yes, you see we got the galvanized Home Depot HVAC adapter, 7 to 6 inch. You're generally not supposed to reduce a chimney, but I'll see how it runs. I don't know. And I have black pipe on order. They just didn't sell the long sections. You could see even running that Vermont castings though, it didn't even burn the stickers off. So right off the rip, I mean, this thing flared up so much nicer. You got great flow, even with the reducer. And I know what you guys are thinking. Oh man, the wiring's too close. And you're right, it is. That's something that will be addressed. Just doing a again, a little trial here. Attended trial. But yeah, this thing, that little Vermont castings, I don't know. I mean, it's great for a tiny cabin, tiny home, but nah, you just can't put enough wood in there. Look at this thing, you just stuff it full. With the door closed and the inlet fully open, the ridge is pretty nice. You close it, damps are down pretty good. So if you guys remember, we had a garage mouse, and ever since evicting him from the garage, he started going into the siding on the house. So I had to put a little trap up for him, catch him, and we're gonna release him here at the public area. That's, I think, should be very fitting for him. He's been in here for a little while. Hey, Bobs. Oh yeah, you were in here for a while. I see all that poop. You need no food or nothing? I feel sorry for you. I mean, you know, I'm an animal lover, so there you go. All right. The world is your oyster. There you go. You got all these leaves and everything. Hey, found a good crack to go. Yeah, you're already at home here. Next night, and we have mouse number 2. Could be, you know, his or her partner. See if you go to the same place. Yep, into the same crack. How about that? Next day, and look at this. I caught 3 mice overnight. But since it's raining, this is full of water, and they're all just shivering. Let's get them to some warmth, and then we'll release them. I drain the swamp, and then we can scoot them on into here. Get them dried off inside. Give you guys a fighting chance somewhere else. Yeah, I got them covered up in the car. Guess we got some furry friends we're bringing with us. Who's that in there, huh? I'm sure Jen would love that I'm bringing them in her Toyota. And release them at the Great Wall of Mice. Here goes one. Gus? No. Gus? All right, he's going in the woods. Yeah, I'm gonna stay under here and dry myself off, and then I'll be all right. So cute. As much as I hate these guys, they are just so adorable. And I've kind of been popping over here whenever I can, but here's the progress. I got everything down from the shelves, and I've definitely decided on taking these shelves down. I'm actually still fighting the drawers on this Snap-on box too. What a nightmare. Every time I fix one and then another starts getting sticky because there's like this plastic bits in there that get stuck down in the rollers. Should have just contacted Snap-on and tried just warranting them all out. But I wanted to show you the main reason I'm taking these shelves down. I'm actually going to keep the planks for something else, maybe some shelving in one of the trailers here. But I just did not trust these lags. Like that chain supporting the entire weight. I definitely trust the chain, but I just don't trust a lag going into a, you know, pine or Douglas fir, whatever it is, 2x3, putting substantial weight up there. And same thing with going up top. So they were nice shelves. It's a shame, but I think I'd be better off with some 24-inch deep pallet racking type shelves. Get adjustable shelves. So get the rest of the stuff off the walls, and then clean the walls, and then paint. Maybe you should have just left it alone. The thing is, you pop over here for an hour or two whenever you can, and you get little done, and it's like, so I don't even bother pulling the camera out really, because slow and steady, slow progress. It'll be great when it's done. And that's one side down. I love the way he made these modular systems so I can easily craft another shelf with them. No issue at all. And I guess I didn't mention you guys, but I got a Toyota forklift. Check this thing out. It was an auction buy. It's a 6,000 pound capacity, weighs around 10,038 pounds, I think it was. It needs a little bit of maintenance and such, but yeah, works good. And as you can see, it's great for stacking these and putting everything into the center of the garage. I was just up here taking the rest of the hooks out of the ceiling, and it's like the closer I get to the drywall up here, the more I'm like, I don't know. There's a lot of areas where roof leaks and such stained it, and it's kind of bellying and pushing down, so I might as well rip that off too while we're at it, right? And this I-beam, here's a closer look at the welds holding that together. Of course, it's just kind of sitting on there. But this trolley is actually home built as well. And he did a pretty good job on this. Check it out. Definitely keeping this. Old school ringer for a phone. Listen to that. Something else I missed in the first video when I did the attic tour was this guy sitting here. Old double barrel. Probably like a powder gun. But there's not much left of it. And, well, I don't know, it might just be a regular shotgun because I noticed these rusted shells sitting here too that are still alive, ready to go. I'll leave that there for the next person that finds it in 50 years. Check this out, 1/2-inch drywall up in the ceiling in this garage. Decided to take it down, but I literally just grabbed this, the tiniest bit, and the whole sheet fell down. And it wasn't even the nails that pulled out. One nail pulled. But it was just pulled right through. I mean, they wouldn't fall out on their own, but maybe in another 10 years, because you can see some of them are starting to balloon down. Let me show you what I'm talking about. By the way, this is from 1991. Let's get over to another section, and I'll be able to show you. Let me just get this piece safely down. All right, the one right next to it, let's give it the tiniest little yank. Oh, okay, that one's a little stronger. All right. I tell you, the other one I breathed on and it came down. Let's get one more. Yep, there it is. One yank, whole thing's down. Holy smokes. Hopefully this insulation now will stay right where it's at. When I get some sheet steel up here. As I'm pulling all these nails out, I noticed this is actually all glued too. Got some drywall screws, but mostly nailed. What a job putting that up.
Watch the front end of it. Pick up a little bit. All right. Yeah, you're good.
Oh boy. And that was the last sheet. So 2 guys, 4 hours. Big thank you to Nick for helping out. And got it all bagged up. Probably just got a dumpster. Now I'm gonna spend a few more hours now pulling the nails and screws.
There won't be nothing but big old hearts dancing in our eyes.
There was 40 when they stopped to make their play.
Yes, sitting by the fire, feeling toasty. Got all the drywall down, every last nail. Gus, who is it? Is it the snowman? Oh, look at you. Look at you with snow all over the face. Here, boy. Only way to get him to come out is give him a couple peanuts. This guy gets cold out in the snow real easy. Yeah. Turbo. Going down to 7 tonight, so he better come in, right? Oh, there you are. Come on. Come on, you snowcat. Where'd you go to stay dry? There he is. The snowcat and the wiener dog. All right, and here at the end, I got some blabber for you, like usual. Then we'll cap it off with some drone stuff. First and foremost, if you've made it this far in the video, I thank you very much for the support. Would not be able to do any of this kind of thing without you guys, the viewer, tuning in. So thank you for that. Next, I wanted to thank Hyperlight for sending over this custom LED neon lookalike sign. Meant to hang this up over at the new garage, but not quite there yet, so I'll put it safekeeping here. Check it out. You got a little remote control. Boom. How cool is that? You got a little reflection off the Hyperlight LEDs above it, but that is a really neat sign. I can't wait to hang it up over there, and you actually have different modes too for it. You can change the brightness, put a timer on, so pretty neat. Thank you, Hyperlight, for sending that over. Those are custom made to order. So check out the link down below for pricing and options. Thought that was pretty cool. Next, Matt's Off-Road Recovery. He puts on the off-road games. We went last year, had a blast just hanging out, and met a bunch of cool people, including Colt from Colt Builds It. And he actually messaged me, invited me to come out and be a partner. So I'm like, yeah, it sounds awesome. So I'm gonna be out there for the off-road games as long as I can make it out, and be looking for a vehicle to purchase in either like Phoenix or Las Vegas. So if you run into something interesting, feel free to shoot it my way and I'll check that out. If you haven't heard of the off-road games, look into it. It's a good time, family fun, great vibes. As for progress on the garage, you know, I will keep you guys updated, but it's kind of like everything else. It's been put on the back burner because now focusing on doing some work on the house and tearing out a lot more than we anticipated. So I can't wait to get that place dialed in. It's gonna be sweet, but you know, slow and steady is how things go around here. Like, I still have the 67 Mustang and the 71 Chevelle. Once that 396 is all buttoned up, he's done with it. Jack's actually gonna pick it up over from Anything Goes Garage, and he's gonna put it in. Got some other work going on with that. So it's all, you know, things are just slow rolling around here is what I'm trying to say. I have been prioritizing time with Jen and Autumn. You know, you can't get that time back. And funny enough, I just saw a YouTuber post, oh, I'm quitting. And I was like, oh, let me see what that video is. It was Demolition Ranch, Matt was the guy's name. And he's like, I'm quitting YouTube. Well, I gotta find out why. And guess what it was? It was because he wants to prioritize spending time with his family. He was like, what am I gonna regret years from now? Not making more YouTube videos or not spending time with my kids as they grow up? And then they're off doing their own thing, you know? Choice is obvious there. So if you ever notice a lack of me, that's why. Or I'm dead. But definitely not quitting YouTube. I love it too much. But you gotta do videos when you feel like doing them. You can't be like, I gotta get a video out every 3 days, every week or whatever. You gotta, you know, genuinely be into it. I mean, that's my thoughts on that anyway. Oh, something else, the garage, the only reason I kind of halted it and I'm okay with that is I'm thinking now that I have the ceiling down, needs a roof anyway, I found some roof leaks. I'm like, maybe I'll just get new trusses too. I was thinking about putting some gambrel trusses on there with 2x10 bottom cords, get 40 pounds per square foot of rating on the floor so I can store a bunch of stuff, and then put a door in the front to be able to, you know, use the forklift, get heavy items up there or turn it into a living space in the future. These are things that like I start doing, I'm like, wait a second, I'll hold it. But we can do this, we can do that, we can knock the whole thing down. So, I don't know, I'd rather put it on hold and make sure ultimately I do the right thing in the end. And I guess that's it now. I'm done with the ramble session, so thank you guys very much for tuning in, and I'll see you again hopefully soon. No Nonsense Know How, NNKH, see ya.